Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations here for BNI Arizona, where I help support all 78 chapters around this amazing valley. And every single week, I come to you providing a weekly education nugget that counts as one chapter education unit for watching. The whole reason why I started this video series a couple years ago was so that way everyone could earn at least that one CEU that would count towards the power of one. So if any of you watching this right now have a 0 on the power of one when it comes to chapter education units, you need to log these videos. It's super easy. I make these short, fast, super fun, not as boring as, at least I hope they're not boring for you guys. But it counts as one chapter education unit, but you have to log it, right? So make sure to log it. A lot of chapters are using hashtag log it. I know Platinum says don't dog it, log it, and they always post cute little dog pictures when they're posting that. I love watching those posts. But make sure you log the information, guys. I sent out the recent Power of One on Monday. So if you check it out, you can see where you are as far as the last 6 months of activity. So a couple updates on the Power of One, and I've had a couple questions about a couple of the different updates that are on the Power of One report. One is the number in parentheses next to your name is the number of weeks that is included in the data on the Power of One. So for newer members, it will have a lower number because that's how many weeks they've been in the chapter and how many weeks it's basing that Power of One report on. So the higher number, the longer the member has been in the chapter where it's reporting that activity, because that Power of One report is a snapshot of the last 6 months of activity. So we want to make sure to keep that in mind. It's not just last month, it's the last 6 months of activity. And if you see members in blue, that means that they are within their first 60 days of membership. So they are brand new. So make sure to welcome those members. They've also added a column for sponsors. So if you've sponsored any new members in the year of 2021, so this year they've added an additional column for how many members you've personally sponsored this year. So it's not the lifetime of BNI, it's just strictly this year. So I wanted to give you guys those couple updates. I encourage you guys, look at your numbers and see what you can improve on for next month. The more you put into BNI, the more you will get out of BNI. I promise you that. So if you need any tips or tricks of how to pass more referrals or how to gain additional chapter education units, there's so many opportunities for chapter education units between if you read leadership, business development books, those count as chapter education units. And I know a lot of you leaders watching this right now read a lot of books. So make sure to log that information as chapter education units. The only thing that does not count as chapter education units is your own profession's continuing education. So for example, when I was a massage therapist, I needed so many hours of continuing education to keep my license active. When I went through those classes, that does not count as chapter education units. So a lot of people get confused with continuing education units and chapter education units. So if it's for your business specifically, it does not count as chapter education units. But there are tons of podcasts, different courses in BNI Business Builder that's not just BNI related. A lot of those courses you can implement new things into your business. It's all about making sure that we excel your business, especially during these times. So my tip for you guys for this week is actually all about power teams. How many of you are still meeting on a monthly basis with your power team? That's huge, guys. And that if you are not meeting on a monthly basis with your power team, or if maybe you've missed a couple meetings and maybe you need to get back into it, make sure that you guys are meeting at least on a monthly basis. Because when you meet regularly and actually have strategy sessions, that's how you're, one, going to be able to give more referrals, and two, be able to receive more referrals. within those power team meetings, make sure that you create an agenda. Talk about what's working in each other's businesses. Talk about what's not working in each other's businesses. Because if there's something that's not working in your business, you have a lot of resources from other business professionals on your power team that may be able to provide you with some amazing feedback. I know for myself over the years when I was in my health and wellness power team, that was gold, guys. Being in that monthly power team meeting, and if I was struggling with hiring someone new, if I was trying to implement something new into my business, I would bounce ideas off of my power team for them to provide some really great feedback. And that would actually help me excel my business in different ways that I didn't even know were possible. Because yes, we all think that we are amazing business professionals ourselves, but the great thing about BNI is that we have access to so many different business professional resources that have lots of different experience levels with length of business and different types of business, and they might have ideas that you didn't even think of. So make sure that you're meeting with your power teams, talking about, so in addition to talking about what's working, what's not working, come up with a strategy with each other, either a joint event. Now that things are starting to open up a little bit around town, maybe create an in-person event where you invite different people from your clients, customers, and be able to introduce each other, or create some joint promotional materials. I know that in past chapters, I've created joint health and wellness brochures to where all of our information was on one piece of paper. So as I was meeting with clients and customers, I would hand them that sheet of paper and say, hey, this is a group of trusted professionals. If you need any of these services, I highly recommend using them. And so it was an instant way for that client or customer to be able to get everyone's information, and maybe they didn't need that product or service right then, but you never know when they might be like, oh, you know what? I think I got a piece of paper and I need an acupuncturist. And then you'll have that connection and they automatically have their information. So if you are not meeting with your power teams, at least on a monthly basis, guys, do it, whether it's online or meet in person. I was just at the Connectors meeting earlier today, and they had their financial power team. They had met in person, and they were having an amazing time. So there are no restrictions when it comes to your power team meetings, meeting in person. So if you are comfortable with that, highly recommend doing it. Or even if you have some members going in person, having an online element to it so that way you can Zoom the others in, so that way you can collaborate as a team. Because another piece of that is collaborating who other business professionals that you want to join your power team. Because to have your best year ever, what are some of the key professionals that you are wanting to join your power team? Right now is the easiest time to invite. It's all online, guys. So it's so easy for someone to jump into a meeting. One thing that we've done previously in Hall of Fame is we've invited those visitors to visit our power team meeting. So if a visitor is visiting your chapter, invite them to your next power team. That way they can see how you all interact with each other, and then they can really see if they are going to be a good fit for your chapter, because they'll be able to tell with your interaction and how you help each other out whether it's going to be the right fit or not. So meet with your power teams, guys. Invite visitors to your power team meetings. That's so easy and so huge. It's a little invite that would make a world of difference for a visitor to feel already included in your chapter. And it's super, super easy just to invite them. And so if you have any questions about different types of agendas to use in your power team meetings, feel free to reach out to me. I definitely have a basic template for some basic questions that you can kind of go off of in your power team meetings if you're finding that they are more personal conversations than business conversations. It's going to be great to kind of pivot those conversations back to business conversations, because you want to create those business professional relationships within the power team. Yes, it's great to talk on a personal level, but you want to maximize your time when you're in those power team meetings. So if you have any questions, let me know. And once again, thank you for watching this week's Wisdom Wednesday. And remember, guys, to record 1 chapter education unit for watching. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week.